Well, this week we have two more questions from our subscribers and followers to get the Druids' perspective on some different things that they have been wondering about. So I'm Katherine, and I'm a channeler of the Druid consciousness, and each week I bring forth channeled messages and information from the Druids based on questions that come from subscribers and followers. So if you have a question or something that you would like the Druids' perspective on, please feel free to send it over to me. You can subscribe to the newsletter, respond to the email, you can follow me on social media. So as a reminder, even though these questions weren't specifically given by everyone or are on a broader topic, there is something in here for everyone. So please keep listening, watching, and know that if you have found this, there's a reason for that. So really see how the message resonates with you as well. Our first question we have is from Jamie. And Jamie says, I've been feeling blocked lately. Like I've been getting too much in my head. Is there something going on energetically? So a great question, and one where when you feel that blocked or you feel like there's something going on, it definitely kind of halts that alignment that we all really look for and want when we are really embracing life and moving down our path and purpose. The next question we have comes from Tamara, and she says, I can't find the real me. I've tried and tried, but something is holding me back. So these are two really good questions that we received this week. So we will have them touch on Jamie's first. Living your life in alignment really means that you are allowing for your soul to lead the way, that your consciousness is working in conjunction with it, along with your body, but you're being pulled and using your soul, your intuition, all of these aspects of you to truly come together and to connect in with you, to have an understanding, a realization, and a connection of peace, of love, and of joy. Because when you are feeling like you're not moving down your path where you should be going, that yes, you can sense that there's something that's maybe slowing you down or blocking you or stopping you. The sense is that many times it can really truly be connected to that there is something that you need to recognize. You recognize, you realize that you overcome it. And when that happens and when you allow for that information to take place, it truly sets your soul to say, I've hit this point where the consciousness needs to have a little bit more of a connection to it so that we can work through it to then allow for us to have that learning, that experience, that moment, or that release to then continue to shift down our path. So for the person specifically who asked it, we would say that yes, you are coming to a point where it's almost like you're going to get to a pivotal point where you need to decide the direction you're going to go. But it also is about for you to recognize who you are and how you want to allow for that to be seen by others, and what you want to do to get to that place where you are just allowing for your personality, your sense of self, who you are, to be freely out into the world. And so for it is about really connecting into what is bringing this forward, this sense of slowing down or blockedness or stopping. For that is what is key as all of this shifts forward and moves in. It is about really making this sense that yes, there are times where there are things that maybe our soul knows we're coming upon and isn't ready to jump past yet. Because the soul is all about experiences. And so the soul has had many experiences in many different lifetimes. It also has picked up different skills. It's done different things. It's connected other ways. And the higher self has been there to really allow for it to ebb and flow. But it does have, we will say, a recognition of things that it has done before. For example, you can meet another person and you feel this very strong pull to them, this connection to them, that they are like, you know them. You feel this kindred spirit to them. Well, that is the soul recognition to the recognition of their soul. And perhaps you did have many lifetimes with them and they were part of your family, or they were very dear to you, or there was this connection. And so in this lifetime, you just pick up with them like you are long lost siblings, and you just continue your life saying, I can't believe I know this person who is so dear to me, or I have such a connection with, or we had so much in common. And so that is about that memory, we will use the term, although it's not quite a memory, but that memory that the soul would have. And so when they are coming in the same way, when they're coming up against something that maybe is going to be a learning moment or something that's a little difficult to surpass, there can be that hesitation. And from a conscious standpoint, it's like, well, why are we not moving forward? What is happening? But the soul is saying, oh, I'm having recollections of this. Say, for instance, you have to be very vocal and honest about something to someone. Well, your soul may go, oh, we did that before. It did not go well. I'm not sure if we want to repeat that. And as a consciousness, you're saying, I can embrace that. Like, well, I can embrace that, but there's no need to do that. But you haven't seen that down the path because there's been this slowdown prior to. But it is about going deep really in through a way of connection to your soul, whether it be through meditation, through a reconnection to it, through intuition, through automatic writing, through working with someone that can help you attach into that and to pull that information. However it will work for you, but it is about finding that realization. And you may find that there are things that you are triggered around, we will use the term. So say, for instance, someone makes you very upset, or you find when someone is not being honest with you, you get very upset. Or perhaps your child will not be honest with you or tell you what the problem is. They say, I'm fine, and you are thinking, you are not fine. What is the problem? And so you're being almost triggered by all of these things where someone is not being truly honest and forceful with their beliefs and thoughts and opinions. And so that makes you very upset. But from a distance, they all look like different things, like just life. But when you can see the common denominator in all of those, you will then have an understanding and a placement that, yes, this is where they are supposed to be, that this is what is coming in and truly allowing for this to shift forward and to move forward as you are going in on all of this. And so this is part of what is important for all and everyone to understand. And it is about trying to figure out what is causing this. Now, we will also say that, yes, many times there is something that's causing this slowdown, something coming down the path. But other times there are people who move very fast in their life, and they are moving down so fast, but the concern is that there are others that need to catch up. So say, for example, someone is ready to jump into a relationship. They are ready to meet the person that they are meant to be with in this lifetime. Well, they can say, I am ready. I have done all of this additional work. I have released some of the beliefs and issues I've had from my past relationships. I'm feeling very strong with who I am. I'm very settled in my life, in my career, with my family. I don't hold a lot of baggage or issues, and I'm feeling very successful in other aspects of my life. My career is going well. I have great relationships. I love being around my friends and my hobbies. But they say, but where are they? When are they coming? When are they coming in? Well, many times it's not that they're not ready or that you're not ready to have them come in, but it can be that the other person is not ready. Perhaps they have not made the job transfer to take them to the place where you live. Or perhaps they had a problem, an illness by a family member, and so they're not in the right mindset to meet someone new because they're feeling very, energetically depleted because of that, because that's where their energy is going. There are many things it could be, but it is truly about you saying, instead of saying, well, when, it's about saying, I'm ready for this. I'm going to enjoy where I'm at. And so it is about that connection to that I'm enjoying where I'm at and where I am. So to the person that asked the question, we will say you were more of the former, talking about upcoming experiences and expectations. But to many others that will hear these messages, it is more about the opposite. It is more about this balance of it and this reconnection to it. Or that is what is important to recognize as you are going through all of these, as you are connecting in with this. And so So just know that there are so many more things that can come up. There are so many more things that can allow for this shifting and this knowingness and this oneness to truly have. And that is where each of you, when you are feeling this way, need to either recognize maybe what is coming or where you are not quite in alignment at. Or if you feel very aligned, you need to look at, okay, maybe it's not the right timing for everything. Maybe there are other things, but not be disappointed by that or, feeling very, we will use the term of lacking in that, but instead recognizing that you are just moving at a pace that the universe is saying, hey, we're trying to catch up. We will bring this to you. But if you were to meet that person and they were energetically depleted or feeling very sad because of a sick family member, or they lived across the country, you would never work. It would be a very big struggle. And there's a chance that it would not truly come together as it's meant to. So the key is that you will say, well, then what do I do? Just sit. Well, no, the key is that you still need to take action with things. You still need to enjoy your life, live your life, look at in what areas you can move forward, that you want to move forward in a way that can be very, set with your career, with your family, with experiences, with your hobbies. Really push yourself to continue that learning. Maybe you pick up a new hobby that you had not tried before. So you look at all of these different things and how you can do this. But then it is also about you having this sense of yes, I'm ready for them to come in. And as the old adage says, things happen when you least expect it. You get the job offer, you meet your person, you get pregnant, you find the home of your dreams. Whatever it is, when it least expected, it's because each individual is living their life and they're enjoying it and they're in alignment to it. They're truly in alignment to where they're meant to be. And because of that, this truly allows for this sense of, yes, I'm coming in, I'm shifting in. But because everything is happening and I'm moving down this path and it's not a struggle, the universe is just handing things over to us saying, okay, you're ready for this. You're ready for that. You're ready for this. You're not slowing down. You're not pushing back. You're not blocking you from seeing what's available, because you are taking that simple action by being open to looking for a new career. If you want a new career, you still breeze the housing market to see what's available. You're spending time with children and enjoying them. You're not saying, oh, I'm avoiding them because I have not had a child. You're allowing for you to do what you enjoy and moving down this path. And that is when everything just gets handed to you. And it's handed to you at the right time. But remember, you have to take the action to get there, and not judging too much of things that are coming, not saying, oh, I could never have that job because it would never be right for me. But instead saying, this was shown to me by a friend and they said you could be a good fit. Well, maybe you still apply and you talk to them. It does not mean you have to take it. You may say, no, maybe not. But maybe you get in there and you find out that what was written in the job description is very, is different than really what the job is. It entails all of those items, but, it doesn't have as much of a lean into, collaboration. Maybe it's more independent work or however you want it, however it would shake out. But it's about that action of trying and trusting and seeing what's out there. That is the key for all of this, is that when you have these opinions and beliefs and judgments, that's not right. This will never work. I only want that. What you're telling the universe is no, 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 no. And they're saying, well, but we're giving you these options. We're giving you opportunities. And so it is about saying, can I at least look into these opportunities to see if they align? And as you become more in tune to who you are, that will truly allow for this alignment to shift and move forward. This will allow for this sense of, yes, I'm ready to move into this path, or I'm open to looking at this. Because you might say, it's not exactly what I was looking for. Perhaps there's too much travel, or perhaps it is not in the right location and the commute is too long. And you may say, no, it's just not right. And that is after you have spoken to them and researched it and dug in. And then the universe goes, ah, I understand now. You want something a little different. And so something else comes up then. And so it's not about saying everything will be perfect, but it is about saying you will be given what you need. The universe will provide it. And perhaps that job you say, too long of a commute, I'm just not sure. And they said, what if you could work remote 3 days a week? Would that help offset those 2 days you need to come in and the time you're losing from your family? And you might go, well, that sounds great. That sounds wonderful. I could do that. So it's about then seeing those other options, those other opportunities. So just allow for things to shift, because perhaps that was the job you were meant to have. So this is truly about all of you having a sense of, yes, there can be a blocks, but what is blocking you? Is it yourself? Is it you're blocked because you're walking backwards? You're like, well, I'm moving forward. Well, at a very slow pace, and then you bump into something and you don't realize it's a tree, and you take one step to the right and you can keep going. But if you went forward, you would see the tree and you would realize that you're not exactly on the easiest part of the path, and you would have avoided it. So it is about being open to what is there, to look at when you feel blocked, when you feel things are not quite in alignment for you, and what you truly need to do to get there. For that is what is most important right now, is all of you are coming into this new wonderful time and energy that is upon us. So take a look at what's there. See, what is it? Is it you? Is it your soul? Is it the universe? What is coming in that is making you feel like you're not moving at the pace you wanted to? Look at it, connect with it, and then decide, how can I shift this? And when you do that, you will come to find that there is so much more around and allowed for you to live your ultimate life that you came here to live. Well, I love how they really spoke of, look and see what is coming in. One thing I always try to do is lean into when I feel an energy is misaligned. Really lean into where is this stemming from? Many times it's myself, or it's a past life energy. And so when I can recognize that and see that, or make my own shifts, I can really find that I'm on a great path. And know that there's so much around you to help you with this. Lean into meditations, the elements, let things be shown to you, ask your guides for help. All of this you can break through. So I hope that was helpful to all of you as you really learn how to lean into what is coming. So now I'm going to have them touch on Tamara's question. And as a reminder, her question was, I can't find the real me. I've tried and tried, but something's holding me back. And so something where I know we're all finding the sense of self seems to be a very common thing that's coming up right now. Just as we're all adjusting to this new energy coming in, into this age of Aquarius, to all of these shifts in the I am center of astrologically and energetically, and the veil is lifting a little more, and we're finding who we are. So let's see what they have to say on this question. So yes, as she started mentioning to all of you that yes, there is a sense of finding out who each and one of you are. The who am I question is a very important question that comes up and is coming up more and more. And so yes, many of you will say, well, I know who I am a daughter or a son. I am a friend. You might say what your career is. You can say I am happy. You can say I'm a male or a female, or however you identify. You can come up with all of these things of who. But the who truly comes from within. It comes from the soul. It comes from a sense of, yeah, this is who I truly am. And this is my truth about that. And it is not about what society wants you to believe, or your friends or others, or even what your education is in, or your religion, but it's about who are you? And how is that allowing for you? What is your mission statement as a human? What is the impact you're going to leave? And part of that stems from your purpose. It stems from, you may find that you are a nurturer, or you are a disruptor, or you are just a parent. And we say not just a parent, but we know that is a very important role and task. But you will come to find that there are things that each of you are, and that will drive your purpose and will drive your path. But it is about finding out that to who you are. And for those of you who are struggling with that and finding it more difficult to connect in with that, it is also about each of you having the sense of, yes, I'm going to do these things and have these things. But it's about not putting beliefs and judgments behind it. So when you find it difficult to figure it out, it is because you if you are exploring other avenues of yourself, other ways you are, but are there beliefs or judgments that are set out that are truly not aligned with you? Do you have a belief that you have to be a certain way? You have to act a certain way. There is an expectation of you. Do you find that when you are by yourself, you're a very different person, thinking different ways, reading different things than you are when you are surrounded by other people? Do you find yourself digging into more of the metaphysical world, the spiritual world, the esoteric world when you are by yourself, but when someone says, well, what podcast are you listening to? You don't come out and say, well, I listen to channeling podcasts. You say, oh, I'm listening to one about current events. And maybe you really don't. That is because you have not found the true you, your true self, your true identity, the who I am. And because you are partially living that. And there were many times in the world where people did have to live a different version of themselves and who they truly wanted to be. And so if you find this way, there might have been a lifetime where you really had to lean into that because you would have been, ostracized or not accepted or had other things happen to you because you weren't conformed. And one perfect example of this is religion. Everyone had their religion that they were, their beliefs that they had. And there were those that came through and said, no, you're going to believe this religion. And so they had to either say they did when they really did not, but it didn't ring true to them, or they truly had to switch all of their beliefs, which didn't feel honest to them, but they did as well. So that is one avenue you can look down of, okay, did I have a past life? Do I need to dig into the records, the Akashic records, and see that? Can I allow for this lifetime and this aspect of myself to come up to really show me who and what I am and how all of that brings truth and forwardness to that? And so it is about connecting in. And when you can spend time figuring out who you are, you can say, what do I enjoy? It is what do I enjoy and what is coming forward that may be of benefit. So perhaps you think, well, I know that I enjoy reading now and then. And I know that I enjoy going out and being with my friends. But you say, but there's something that isn't quite right there. And maybe after some contemplation, you may find that perhaps your creativity is not being explored or used as much. And then you may say, gosh, my creativity. And you think, well, I love to cook. And so I could be creative there, but I just follow the recipe. And you say, you know what, I'm going to create my own recipe. I'm going to just decide what I want and go to the store and buy the ingredients and say, these will all come together. And maybe you find it was an amazing recipe and you're like, oh, this was a wonderful meal. It was so delicious, but it allowed for your creativity to come forward. And then you recognize, I just need to be creative with when I cook. Or maybe you came home and you think, oh boy, that did not taste good. I was totally off base. And you say, okay, I'm going to take the next recipe and I'm going to follow it to a point. I'm going to try to use the same measurements for certain things, but I'm going to add in a different herb, or I'm going to add in a different type of vinegar. Whatever it is, you're just going to slightly adjust it. And maybe you're going to take a class or watch some videos on how to make flavor profiles. And so you're saying, I'm going to dig into this more. And maybe you find that really calls to you. And then at some point later down the road, once you understand flavor profiles, you begin creating your own recipes. Well, that allows for that creativity to come through. The same way you could say, I loved to paint as a child. And you may say, well, all I did was finger paint. That adults don't finger paint. But then you think, well, let's go and just get, some paint at the store and a piece of paper. And let me just try to paint something. And maybe you come to find you love it and you enjoy it. And then this aspect of your creativity comes forward. Those are all things where it can show what is coming. But as an adult, you may say, well, I can't do that. Why would I want to start cooking more, spending more time there? Yes, I enjoy it, but I cook, I eat, and then I clean up, and that's the end of it. It's about how can you tap inward further to really have this sense of, yes, this is where I'm ready to go, and this is how I'm allowing for these things to come forward. For that will truly make more of an impact on you. And that will allow for your soul to have more connection to perhaps those things that make you who you are. And this will lead you to finding out, who am I, and answering that question. But this will bring forth those things that really allow for you to have that sense of, I can get there. So focus on your foundation first. What makes you you? What do you enjoy? What are your hobbies? What do you surround yourself with? Do you do many things in your life that you don't enjoy? Are you part of the softball team because all of your friends do it and it's expected and you do? And you say, I don't want to, but they're all there and I hang out with my friends. But maybe there's a different way to look at that. Or do you always help out at your child's school? Because you say, well, parents need to do it and I have to take my turn and I'd rather it be me. And so you overgive because you're doing it for your child. But really, in some ways, you can still give and assist, but maybe you don't have to go there all the time. You can do something in a different way. Maybe if you're that person that really enjoys art, you say, can I ever lead a painting class for you or an activity? And perhaps the teacher goes, that would be wonderful. Don't just assume the answer is no. When you just offer, and you can't be upset if they say no. You can't be pushy about it. You just offer and let it come through. But if it's meant to, it will. But it's about finding those things that really make up who you are. And when you're finding that true sense of self, when you can understand the being you are, when you feel that alignment, at a soul aspect, you feel it at a physical aspect, you feel it at an energetic aspect, because you're digging through and you're finding all of these things that really allow for you to root in. That is when you will truly be able to know that, yes, this is how things are flowing in, that this is where they're coming in from. And it'll better help you to be able to connect in and to find that true sense of self. So spend time focusing on the I am. Focus on the areas of life, the meditations, and the parts of you that really go inward. And know that when it resonates, hold on to it. It may drop, that resonation may change, it may evolve, but focus on what resonates and then move through. Just ensure that your mind of your beliefs, your programs, your opinions, and those around you, all of their beliefs, programs, opinions, and ideas, are not clouding you, are not changing you. That you are truly going inward to say, this is who and what I am. When you do that, you will definitely figure out who you are and feel that real sense of self. Because when you find that true sense of who you are, that true sense of self, that is when you will find that there will be so much more available to you. Things that were difficult or made you upset or you didn't want to do aren't as hard anymore. You'll find joy in more things in your day. You will notice naturally things will just happen and that things will come to you that have never happened before. And you will also find this sense of peace and calm. Your ups and downs will still be there, but they won't be as extreme because your energy will be in a very high frequency, positive sense, but also this calming sense as well. So spend some time, dig in. We know all of you will get there. And thank you for the questions and hope this was helpful to all of you. The sense of self is something that I myself have gone through. I was asked that question and I was shocked by it when I had a shaman ask me, "Who are you?" And it was a hard question to answer, but through time searching, through time digging into who I am, my past lives, the energy I hold, the gifts I have, it has allowed me to see and find that sense of self, to allow for myself and to project that to everyone around me. And hopefully all of you that know me or follow me have seen that who you are. I'm a very much a what you see is what you get person. And so really allow for yourself to come through and try some of those things. So I want to thank everyone for the questions, Jamie and Tamara, for sending those questions over today. I also want to thank each and every one of you for following, for subscribing, or coming across us. So if this resonates with you and you'd love to hear more, definitely follow, subscribe, and all the information is below on how you can get in touch with me or follow me in more places. So thank you for your time. I hope this allows for you to align more to your true life path and purpose. And as the Druids have always said, life is meant to be great. Yes, it is a learning moment. It can be difficult at times, but find that alignment to truly live the life that you were meant to live when you decided to incarnate